oh, that is that person addicted to bodybuilding, I would say for me to classify somebody like that, it wouldn't be somebody that's doing it because they're just trying to win a title.
If someone's doing it to the point to where they're not doing well, competing or not looking good, but they
Mm.
keep doing the lifestyle and everything else is falling apart around them because
Yeah.
they're then I would say, yeah, you're addicted to it.
You say there's an addiction there, right?
Because it's not doing them any good. And
There's no
they just,
benefit.
yeah,
There's
there's
no
no
benefit.
benefit. They're not getting better. They're not winning contests and they keep following lifestyle. Meanwhile, their home life's falling apart.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, dude, that's a problem.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
They get
indicator as well too.
divorced.
Yeah.
They're just everything. They're spending all their money on steroids and everything, and they're still just not doing good. But they just keep going and
There's no
going.
return on it.
There's no return on
Yeah.
investment, right? There's actually loss on investment. You got to know when to just say stop.
Lose the family, lose the house, lose
Lose
everything
everything.
because you just want to bodybuild.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? And you are watching or listening to another episode of Paradise Pump, coming to you straight from Kalihi, beautiful Kalihi. Anyway,
With the usual suspects.
that's right. We got Mel and we have Jed once again today. So I know there was a Pittsburgh show
First
this
and second
past
place
weekend.
flip-flopped.
Yeah. What did you think about it, Jed?
I thought Creasel looked better this time. So,
Yeah.
so the way they placed it made sense. It's like the flip-flop in New York.
Right.
But whatever his midsection, whatever it was washed out, at the New York Pro, he did something to fix it because his conditioning was a little better. And so,
You know who I was impressed with? I thought Brandon Curry looked really, really
yeah,
good.
absolutely.
I was like crazy how good he.
How old is Brandon now?
I don't. Isn't he in like late 40s? He's got to be late 40s.
Yeah, he's in his.
I don't know. What is he at? 46? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. We can look it up, but he's got to be in his late 40s. He looks really
He's
good.
been a pro since like 2007,
Yeah,
right?
he's still
Yeah.
contending amongst the best of them.
It's crazy. That
Fantastic.
long?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Ooh, if you still could,
Wait, he turned pro in 10, right? Maybe it
It
was?
was earlier than that because I just got here on Island. I got here 2008.
Or 9 or 8.
And he
Yeah.
was either turned.
It was
pro or he
somewhere
was
around there.
undefeated.
Yeah, you're right. Somewhere around that time. Yeah. That's impressive though.
That's a nice long pro career
Well, yeah, just I mean, what Dexter Jackson probably had the longest career.
with
Yeah.
the most wins.
I think so. Dexter was the longest.
Most wins, probably injury free.
Most wins, injury. Yeah. Well, that was the thing, right? That's why he could do it for so long because he was staying injury free, right? He learned how to train and stay injury free and still be competitive and win at the highest levels.
He's got the record on Arnold Classics right now.
Does he? What is it, like 4 or something?
It's 4 or 5. I can look it up.
Yeah.
I know he beat Flex's record on the
Yeah.
Arnold Classic wins.
You know who's got the record for the most second places in the Arnold Classic?
Who's
Chris Cormier. Cormier.
Chris
Yeah.
Cormier.
He has like the most second places in the Arnold Classic.
He's so
I think he got like 4 or something like that. Like some pretty high number. It was like, was it 4 or 5? Like, I don't know. You can look it up,
I
but
like how we were talking about last week. Just because you make second place, that doesn't mean you're gonna win the next year.
right. Yeah.
That doesn't mean nothing.
Because he had back-to-backs, I mean, multiple back-to-back second places in the Arnold
Yes.
Classic.
So many people think, I'm this close. The next show is mine. The next show, or like they'll tell their buddy, "Oh, you won second. The next show is yours." Or
Yeah.
it is not.
I know. I've seen what's like just trying to think what's the biggest drop off you've seen from a person, not first place, but say a person who did take second and then came back the next year and like dropped out of the top 5,
Yeah, I got it in my head. I can't think of it.
I'm trying to think like somebody who like you knew was like, oh, this guy's gonna be the guy,
There was an Olympia recently, last few years.
Everyone's like, he's gonna be the dude, he's coming up, and then he just dropped out like nothing. Didn't make the top 5, I'm trying to remember.
I know Kai's first placing wasn't as impressive as everybody thought it was going to be. Didn't he get like 6th or 7th the first time?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Everybody was
They
expecting him to do
bombed
well.
it. Yeah. Actually, I think Kevin LeBron was one of those guys.
Kevin LeBron
was
second
like
place.
he had like in the Olympia, right? He had like I think he had like either 2 or 3 second places. And there was one year I think he did come second, and then the next was it a year later or something? Then he came in like 5th or something. It was like Yeah, Kevin LeBron was one of those
What about
guys.
Gaspari after he finished second? How did he do the year after that?
Gaspari?
Because his first one he came in second.
Oh, he came in second. Oh no, he may have the record to the most seconds in the Olympia.
Oh, really?
Yes, he might, because he kept losing to Lee Haney
Yeah.
multiple years. You know how like Dorian, who was it? Was it Sean Ray that kept losing to Dorian? I think Sean Ray lost like 3 times to Dorian, something like that. And then Cutler lost to Coleman multiple times. Well, Gaspari lost to Haney many years in a row. It was Gaspari was taking second place. I remember because I was I was really into it. That was when I was, in my
But
teenage
he
years.
did win the first Arnold Classic,
Yeah,
which Gaspari did.
he won the first, and then what?
Yeah.
Sean Ray won the second one. Wait, Mike Ashley won.
Yeah.
Wait,
he
because
won
who?
one.
Wait, yeah, I'm trying to remember. You see now these. See, I'm better at remembering video game consoles than I am at my bodybuilding history is not. It's good, but because I know the top 3 guys, like the first 3 Arnold Classics, I'm pretty sure it was like Mike Ashley was one of them. Sean Ray, Gaspari,
Mike Ashley was second, then Sean Ray,
Sean Ray. Okay, so it was See, I was
Vince
good.
Taylor.
You're pretty cool.
and
Vince
then
Taylor was
Flex
close.
Wheeler.
I know it wasn't because most people wouldn't even know who Mike Ashley was.
Mhm.
Mike Ashley had some crazy abs, man. I remember that dude.
And Michael Francois won it one year.
Michael Francois, that guy was huge. He was honestly, he was one of the first, I want to say one of those first like mass monster dudes. Like
Mass
just
monsters
like mass monster.
before the whole trend of mass
Before it
monsters.
trend, yeah, he was. He had
Did you say
crazy
trend?
size.
Trend of mass monsters.
Hmm. Well, the trend.
That's what I'm saying. Did you say
Trend.
trend?
We always hear trend, everything. The reality is they say Dorian Yates, right? Dorian was the guy that created the mass monster era movement, right? Which I do believe he was. There was a few freaks here and there that were out, but Dorian was the guy who made it popular, and he pushed the bodybuilding trend in that direction, right? Because it's crazy, because if you look literally a couple years before Dorian won it, you had guys like Labrada, who was like 187
Yeah,
or
the
something.
beautiful classic physique
Yeah.
body.
Placing in the top
placing
3.
in the top 3.
And he wasn't even over 200.
No,
Mhm.
he wasn't even 190.
Yeah, he was in 180s. Crazy impressive, though. I always liked this physique. Crazy impressive. But yeah, and then of course after Dorian won it that second year, it was over. It was like that was going to be the
Yeah, so
end.
look,
That was going to be the end of that era, and everybody had to come big.
yeah.
There was a time I remember watching it where Dorian was winning, and then Nasser was up there too, but then guys like Levroni and a few others like made this leap in how big they were showing up.
Oh,
Early 2000s,
yeah.
like you look Levroni when he first started to Levroni 2001, big size difference.
Yeah, because Levroni, when he took second place in the Olympia, so the first Olympia that he ever did, there's only 2 guys who actually did this. See, I know some of this. 2 guys who did their first Olympias. Actually, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 guys. So wait, is there 4? Maybe there is 4. Because I know Dorian, first time he did Olympia, he took second place to Haney.
Mhm.
Kevin Levrone, first time he did Olympia, second place to Yates. Flex Wheeler, first time he did Olympia, second place to Yates. And then I think Lee Haney, first time he did Olympia, it was second place. And it was to Samir Bannout.
Samir, yeah, 83.
It was Samir Bannout. I think so. It was it second or third? I don't know. But anyway, so that's pretty impressive. I think even Arnold actually, the first time he did Olympia, didn't he take second to Sergio?
Yeah.
Sergio Olivia. Maybe he did too. Yeah. See, yeah, there you go. So there was a bunch of guys.
Speaking of guys that were like mass monsters before the mass monster era, me and this guy were talking about this guy the other day. He was surprised I knew who he was. Fucking Bertle Fox.
Oh yeah, Bert Fox was crazy, dude.
He looked
Thick.
unreal for that time period.
Thick.
Was just insane how round and how big he was.
Yeah. He had a whole different look, dude.
Too bad he went off the deep end, but
I know. No, you're right. And that's the thing is, and I think the judges, because that era, they really like aesthetics was a big thing, right? Was such a big thing. I think they just kind of didn't know what to do with him a little bit, because he would place, but it was impressive. Yeah, I remember always looking at him and going, "Whoa, he's huge." And I remember when I was younger, right? I was like a teenager at the time. I remember thinking, oh, I don't want to look like that guy. I want to look like, and then I was looking at like, the other guys like Samir or like Bob Harris or those guys, right? Because they weren't huge like that. And I remember thinking, oh, that's probably the physique that I want to go for because this guy is huge. Like I'm not going to look like that. And he did. He had the crazy arms, thick. Um, yeah. I mean, again, structure maybe wasn't the most pleasing. Maybe a little bit thicker, but yeah, crazy. But he never did. I think what did he make top 5? I think in the Olympia.
I mean, there's a lot of them that had amazing physiques that
Yeah,
never or just barely broke top five. I mean,
barely. Yeah.
and they're even for today still unsung heroes, kind of. But
Oh
they
yeah. There's a
compete
few of
exclusive
them.
and so on. Like I honestly thought, like one of them, Milos,
Yeah,
beautiful,
Milos,
beautiful
Milos.
body, but
They were,
it
the
wasn't it for that trend
yeah.
that
Well,
was going on at
he
that
had the
time.
legs. He just
Yeah.
never had the upper body, right?
Mm-hmm.
His shoulders weren't really round.
Mm-hmm.
His arms were a little bit flat. They weren't full.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. He came in shape, and
Yeah.
but his legs were nuts. His legs were really good. But he just, yeah, he almost died, right? When he did that synthol injection in his arms. You heard about that
He
one?
said it permanently messed up his arm.
Yeah, he almost died doing that. That was a big thing. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Because he wanted to get his arms bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I think he only won, was it one pro show? Like the Canadian Pro or something.
But he was a poster
Yeah.
child in the magazines, though. He got
Yeah.
tons of
Well, because he
magazine
had a good
covers.
look.
Yeah, that's what got him.
He's
He had a good
very
look,
handsome
and
dude.
he wasn't,
Yeah.
again, he wasn't the freak size, right? I mean, he was big, but he wasn't like Dorian big, right? So they could promote that, you
Yeah,
know?
he had a very good look, very aesthetically
Yeah,
pleasing
good
to
looking
the eye,
guy,
good
all
looking
that stuff.
guy.
Yeah.
So it sold.
I still, if I had to go in the 80s, for me, my favorite physique of Mr. Olympia for the 80s, I do have to say Samir Bannout, man. I gotta say, Haney was impressive. He had a tiny waist. But I don't know. It was just like, yeah, he just had that look. But Samir, I just remember, I just never seen a guy come in condition like that, that
He only
shape, and then
he only nailed it once though.
one time,
Yeah,
one time.
but when he did, it was
Well,
good.
it was, man, his back was just peeled. His arms, he had nice, good arms. Like the muscle bellies was impressive too. His lats tied way low. His legs weren't huge, but they looked good. I don't know.
He had a good flow from his back
He
to
did.
his legs because his lats came down more
His
than to
lats,
his
yeah.
waist. So it gave him a good freaking look.
Yeah. 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 He could have, I don't know if he was ever going to be able to beat Haney, but, because Haney after that, Haney became Olympia
Mm-hmm.
and nobody was, nobody could beat him until Doreen came in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Haney retired.
Yeah,
After
and
one
that's
time
when the look changed.
he beat Dorian, and I think he was like, "Oh yeah." Plus, he had already won like what 7 or 8 of them. So
8,
yeah,
yeah.
8. So he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. This dude's coming for me." So and the thing about Dorian too, he was peeled. I got to give Dorian that. He came in peeled. A lot of guys were big, but Dorian came in peeled too. So that was impressive.
If you look at the 1996 German Grand
Oh,
Prix on
dude,
YouTube and you
yeah.
watch that posing routine,
Yeah.
I think that's when I show that video to people, it finally dawns on them like just how crazy he looked back then.
Yeah, because he was huge, big, and he was peeled. He looked like he was peeled like a light heavyweight comes in peeled. You know what I mean? Like that conditioning. Not a guy who's 260. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. So very impressive.
And that's what I think a lot of these big boys were missing too, right? The conditioning of it, like how you're saying, more of that light heavyweight category.
Mm.
So I don't know. Do you think if Big Ramy could do the dieting, he would have stuck it out a little longer?
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
really did not have the career that I expected him to have.
No,
Mhm.
no. How many did he win? We talked about it. Did he win 3 or 2?
Ramy?
Yeah, I think he won 2.
Yeah, and honestly, the ones he won weren't where he looked his best.
Mm.
Yeah.
A few years prior, he looked really good. So
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, when I first saw him come out on the scene, I was like, "Whoa, who's this guy? He's crazy looking, crazy looking."
At
Just
the
wild.
expo, he was walking and he was right behind us and people were making a fuss. And I turned around and I looked, I was like, holy sh! No wonder why they call him Big Ramy. It's like, holy
He was
shit,
huge.
the fuck?
And when he was competing in the Middle East, You know what's interesting? Have you ever seen some of those shows, like the pictures and stuff?
Just pictures.
They all use Dream Tan,
Yeah, so that it
the
comes a
makeup.
little
It's more makeup, so it's like shiny.
yeah, shiny.
It's
And
like a
if
glittery
you
kind of
don't get
shiny.
if you don't have the right pH for Dream Tan
Yeah,
as well too, either look green or like a
it'll
black
blotch out.
undertone.
It'll
Yeah,
blotch out.
yeah.
Yeah, but you watch, and some of them they look gold.
Yeah,
If
gold.
you look, you'll see they look all gold. And I'm like, oh my God. At least you could have at least just done like, use a little bit on your face and use some makeup and blend it in. So you're not gold face. Because but like just blend a little bit, you know what I mean? But they don't, obviously they just
They
just
just
slap it on and
like
go.
that silver man in Waikiki
Yeah,
that
that's what it reminded me of. The gold man, right? Exactly. I was like, well, gold, dude. I guess it's better than pale. I don't know. I mean,
there is one competitor, I think it was last year. I guess he was using that, and I mean, I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything like that. I probably believe it might have been his first show,
mm,
and he was an Asian kid
okay.
using that. I was like, man, like you're full on gold, damn.
You didn't
So
like it. Yeah.
he
No,
didn't do good.
no, you're like, no.
Poor kid.
Well, I'm sure everyone knows. People know who he is. Talking about.
For I'd rather come out gold than have bad pH or a bad tan and come out green, though.
Oh yeah, green's the
Oh,
worst. Have you seen a few Incredible Hulks come out there?
I
Right,
absolutely have. And there's
and
been a year,
females,
yeah,
females too.
there's been a year a bit ago, probably when I first started judging, that it was just a bad
It was a
batch.
bad batch. I
And like
remember that.
across the
I
board,
remember
a
that.
lot
It
of
was
them
the
were
bad.
green.
It was a bad
It was a bad batch across the board. And I was like, oh shit.
because you got to look at those dates on the
Yeah,
bottles because they do have expiration dates, and if you don't store them properly, storm and heat and stuff, they can expire before the date.
yeah.
So you got to do the little test, do a little skin test on your hand, check it out, see how it looks.
Especially like the high sweat areas and
Yeah,
stuff like
the
that
pits.
starts
Yeah.
to turn green, and next thing you know, the whole body's green.
Oh
Oh,
man, yeah, that's the worst.
that wasn't too long ago when I had that bad batch. I mean,
Mhm.
we both could freshly recall
Yeah,
it.
I do remember that. That was oh man. That's why you gotta check that tan before you go out there. If you see it's bad, I don't know. You gotta have emergency backup.
Wash it off,
You gotta do a quick wash off and have emergency backup.
get a
Something,
yeah,
right? Just
get a
something.
fresh bottle or something. I don't know, something.
You gotta do something. You gotta always have it. You gotta always have honestly, you gotta always have backup. You always gotta have like an extra posing trunks, an extra, at least for men's physique, shorts, bikinis. You always want to have an extra bikini if you're a competitor.
Tanning has evolved a lot though. So like the base of the tan now, some of them are like a walnut or like a cherry
Hmm.
base instead of the
Yeah.
orange. Like before, after everyone used to look like Oompa
It was
Loompas
all
before, like
orange
orange, orange.
because it was like beta carotene base or
Yeah,
something.
I know.
Well, you
It was
remember they had the
crazy.
self tanners. You put it on, and it's like the cream, right? And then you put it on, and it self tans you, and then within like a few days, you get kind of a tan, but it tends to be an
Orange,
orange
yeah.
color. But it brings out the melanin, but it
Yeah.
looks more orange. It's pretty interesting. I remember trying it years ago, just seeing what's up with it.
So like going back to the whole thing, having a backup plan and extra and stuff like that. Me personally, like the girls, I tell them to bring both of their shoes, their practice shoes and their show shoes, because I seen them break before, like right before they step on stage, and I'm like, I told you.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, you want to have a
Yeah.
two of
Or
everything.
even like suits. I seen suits go. One of the girls at my nationals, actually, I don't know if she watches this, but she knows she was one of the top five. So she was doing a routine. Um, at the end of one of our like how they pull you up, or the top five, they
Yeah.
have you pose down, and it was right before she got off of stage, right before she got off of stage from her whatever she was doing, her last pose, like this the string snapped, and she was like, oh, and walked off of stage, and we're like, oh shit, girl, you have another suit, and she's like, oh no, so she just pinned it.
Pinned it up. Okay.
Yeah, so
Jeez.
always have a backup.
Yeah, you gotta have backup of everything. At least a second of
Hmm.
two of everything.
And
So
for me, my suits, because they are expensive, if I'm
yeah.
traveling, I hand carry my suits.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah, I would. I
take
would.
that risk, dude.
I wouldn't check it in.
Especially if my luggage gets lost or
No way.
something.
I wouldn't check it in.
Uh,
Yeah, because if you're flying out to a show and then one, you lose the suit and it's expensive, that sucks. But then two, how are you going to compete? You don't have a suit now.
yeah.
So I hand carry that for sure. Yeah.
So like men's physique, their trunks or shorts, I
Yeah.
should say, not
Shorts.
trunks. Like you never know, the tan might run, or like you have it on your hands and you do like one of
You do one of
those
those accidentals
things. So bring an extra pair just in case.
for sure. Yep. Well, anyway, that was a yeah, crazy good show this weekend.
Oh,
So
back to the show. And Chris, by the way, congratulations
yeah.
on that new announcement. We got a
Oh
they got a
yeah,
bun in the oven.
Chris. I know you came in here today, didn't you didn't mention it, and then he put the post up. I don't think he wanted all the attention in the gym, but now he's going off to his trip, so I'm sure he's gonna he's like, here everybody, check it out. So
Oh, super cool.
Daddy Knox. All right. Well, Daddy Knox. I'm like, wow. Yeah, because he's getting all of it. He's knocking it all out. He's got the not, just get the pro card a year ago, and then getting the baby. He got the wife. He's just, geez, look at this guy.
It's exciting.
There's a lot of new stuff coming, man.
That's so exciting. I love that
Yeah.
for him.
Well, Chris, I'm excited for you. I guess the GT350 is going to have to wait, huh, buddy? Too bad. Oh well. He wants to buy my car. He's like, I want to buy your car, buy your car. I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Just let me know when you're ready. I was like, I wonder if that's gonna happen now.
It's gonna be a classic by the time you'll be
I
able to
know.
sell it to him.
It's gonna be like, dude, this car is a vintage, bro. Sorry. I know. I don't know. Maybe he'll still want it. Who knows? Maybe I'll just keep it anyway. Yeah. So our main topic for today was actually going to be about addiction. So all types of addictions, right? There's so many types, and just having an addictive personality or just being addicted to certain things, certain maybe certain activities, certain drugs, whatever it may be. So I have some experience with it. Me personally, I've never, I don't want to say I've been addicted to anything. I mean, I was definitely, if you want to say addicted to bodybuilding, maybe if you want to call that. I don't know if it's an addiction. It was more like I had said before. I had goals and I was trying to attain them, so I was obsessed with it because I felt I had to be that way to be good, to get good. But I don't know if I would consider that uh, addiction. But I do have a lot of experience with people in my life that have been addicted to certain things, and mainly alcohol. I have experience with that. I've known a few people, so family members and friends. So,
You think it's hereditary?
um,
I could almost vouch and say from my experience it is.
well, I can say I know two people that did it based off of like the depression, like escape depression,
Yeah.
and then escape. They started it because of depression and finding something to ease the pain, right, or escape. I know two people like that, but
As far as it being hereditary, though, I mean, it's not passed on in your genes, no. But because you grew up seeing it, I mean, that becomes the status quo now, you know?
That kind of I would agree, but at the same time, like that's what made me stop it
Yeah, we
because
do
I
have a
saw
decision.
what other people in my family what it did to them. It fucking ruined them, and I knew I was going down that road. And I was like, I have to stop, or I'm going to turn into that. And I had to stop.
yeah, because you heard the term like addictive personality, right?
Yeah,
So they say it's a personality trait, right?
I mean,
Addictive personality.
there's that one story, and I'm not gonna say it verbatim because I know I'm gonna butcher it. Like, there's these two boys who had a father who was an alcoholic. One ended up being just like the father, an alcoholic. The other one being sober and the complete opposite of. And this is the decisions that we make because of the circumstance. So I honestly think no, not hereditary necessarily, but because you see it, you may or may not have
Mm.
the capacity of making the correct or better choice to or not to do it.
could the reasons why they do it, like the personality traits, the depression, or something that caused them to do it, be hereditary? Because sometimes people have kids and stuff, they suffer the same issues. And because they saw their parents run to something to compensate for it, then they do the same thing.
Hmm.
I'm just curious because, like, I've seen this in one side of my family.
Yeah.
So, and like, I think one of us took the route of I'm never doing that shit, and then I took the route of I'm gonna do it, and then it turned into okay, I'm gonna. By that time, the person that was doing it was in a real bad spot, and that's where I saw I was gonna be if I didn't stop. And then I became a trainer, and I was like, I can't go in and train people hungover, so I need to cut this shit out. But I quit it like a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be because I really have a hard time quitting things, and I thought the alcohol would be hard, but I was like, um, 15 years ago.
Well, that's what is one of the hardest addictions to quit. And here's the thing, one of the hardest ones that I remember and growing up and seeing it everywhere was smoking. It used to be, I mean, when I was a kid, I remember everybody smoking. Jeez, everywhere I went, people were smoking.
Now it's weird if people smoke.
And they didn't call it an addiction. They didn't say, oh, you have a tobacco addiction. They call it a habit. Oh, it's a habit. You have a bad habit. You smoke. Back in the day, they never called it an addiction, which let's just say what it is. It's an addiction.
Yeah.
They were addicted to nicotine, right? But they didn't call it that. It was just, it's a bad habit, whatever, or it's a habit, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And I think they say cigarettes, one of the hardest ones, and sugar, crazy,
Yeah.
right? Is sugar is it an addiction? I mean,
Well,
would you
people eat to
label it?
escape. I
Right?
don't see why.
So
Wouldn't
food
they?
is a food
Yeah.
addiction, sugar addiction, right? So there's so many different types, right? And now with the internet stuff, in the last, 20 years, the porn,
It's
insane.
normalized. It's freaking
It's
normal. Yeah.
normalized. I mean, people, and there's addicts, right, that go on there and spend a ton of money or hours and hours of their day just going through watching porn and, it's just like, it's crazy, right? So it's interesting, yeah. But cigarettes was a big one for me. So when I grew up, I was around a lot. I hated it. I hated cigarettes because I hated the smell of it. And then I remember the alcohol. I was around my grandfather used to drink a lot. So around him, he'd get drunk, and I was like, oh, alcohol. Like, so all these things were turning me off, right? Seeing it because I was like, wow, I don't want to be like that. I don't like the smell of that. I don't. So I had no interest in doing them. Don't get me wrong. When I was when I was in high school, I did drink. Like everybody, let's have some drinks. You're at the party or having drinks, but I never smoked. I never even smoked, weed or nothing. Like I had friends in intermediate. They were smoking pakalolo. We call it back then pakalolo. Um, they were smoking around me, and I had no interest in it because again, I grew up around a couple of family members that were doing it, and I was just like, nope, didn't want to do it. Had no interest. So
Now it's weird if you see someone smoke because
yeah,
it's not.
yeah, cigarette. Yeah, cigarette. I know. It's really weird. I have these neighbors that live below my place, my one condo, and oh my god, they smoke. Both of them, chain smokers. I'm like, I probably live in this whole townhouse complex. They're probably the only ones that smoke, And then sometimes I smell it, right? Because outside, and I'm like, I gotta be right next to these people. I'm like, what is the luck, being next to two freaking chain smokers? You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. I don't care if they want to do it, but when I smell it, I don't like it.
I remember
So
when it used to be okay to smoke in the house.
oh yeah, it was normal. Dude, there was ashtrays everywhere.
Smoking in restaurants was okay too.
Yeah, yeah. The
And
McDonald's had little aluminum ashtrays in there.
well, and I remember when you go to a restaurant, not just bars, but when I was younger, a restaurant, you would always have the smell. Every restaurant had the same smell.
Yeah.
It was like air conditioning, cigarette scent, old carpet. Like I don't know. It was a particular smell that you just knew you walked into it. You knew
Yeah,
it.
and it's funny because they would always ask smoking or non-smoking,
Right.
and you're like,
Yep.
fuck it all.
Yeah, I
Like smoke.
know.
What?
And you sit over here. It was so funny. You'd have a table. I remember they would sit us here, and literally the non-smoking was like two tables over. And I was like, the guy is over here. I'm getting all that. It's two tables over. Like, how is that?
Do you remember the vending machines, the cigarette
Oh yeah,
vending
I remember
machines?
vending
Yeah, I do.
machines. I
I
remember.
remember seeing them.
For like 50 cents a pack when I was a kid.
Dude, you're not that
25.
old. 50 cents a pack.
Yeah, no. The vending, no, back in the early 70s, I am that old. No, I remember. No, you got to remember. I remember what from stuff from like 73, 72, 73. I remember those times. No, I mean,
All right, I was like a decade
yeah,
behind you, but like by the time we were
73,
being
yeah.
degenerate and buying cigarettes out of the machine, they're
Out of the
about
packs,
$2.
like 50. Go look it up. Look it up. Look how much was cigarettes back in 1973. Go look it up. I remember because I was like 5 years old at that time. Yeah. I specifically because I remember playing with these machines when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Pull the
Every time there
button.
was vending machines, I'd always want to do it, and my grandparents would be like, "Oh, here," and I would pull the thing for them.
40 to 45 cents a pack
Damn.
for 20,
See?
20 cigarettes.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I remember it. I loved always, pulling the thing for them. They would put in the thing and be like, "Go ahead," and I would,
That it was like a
and I take it out, I'd be like, "Ooh,
game
it was
machine.
fun." Well, because yeah, they had the little dime things where you turn it, you get the little toys in them, the little plastic.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I remember one time my grandmother, she was the best. Um, at Shima's Market, So do you know where that's at? Yeah,
Shimas.
in Waimanalo.
Yep.
So I
It's
grew
still
up.
standing.
Yeah, I still going. I grew up back there, right in the back roads, and I remember
I know why you know Shimas so well, because the feed store is right next door too,
right next
huh?
to. I didn't go to that feed store, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I like even to that one. I don't think they had stuff there. Anyway, I would have gone.
Maybe.
I don't think so. But Shima's, we used to go and they would have those little vending machines with the little toys in them, plastic. And I remember always trying to get certain ones. And in the front, they had this little display and they had all these toys in that little display. And I remember trying to get stuff. And it was at one point I couldn't get it. I forget what it was, the little toy, and I couldn't get it. And I was like, oh man, and I can't get it. And then my grandmother's like, hey, how much is it to buy that? We just buy the thing? Because we would go every time we go to the store and I keep trying to get this whatever toy it was, I can't remember. And I could never get it. And it was like 25 cents, I think. It was the bigger thing. And then she was like, how much is it to buy this whole thing? And I remember it's so funny, I remember this. They're like, oh, $5. You can just buy the whole thing. And she's like, can we just buy it then? And the guy's like, sure. The person there, so they opened it up and they gave us the whole thing with all the toys in it. I was like, yeah. I was so stoked. Opened that thing up. I forget what toy it was, but I had been trying for weeks to try to get this thing and I could never get it.
See,
So she just bought it.
I was the opposite kid. I'm like stuck my hand through the thing.
Oh, you could get in there, yeah.
Yeah.
You remember you could if you move it around. I remember this one place had Boston beans. You remember those Boston
Yep.
beans? And I think it was 5 cents or 10 cents. And I think I was in fourth grade or fifth grade. I was fifth maybe. And every morning I walk in there. It was like this little like coffee shop. And I walk in there and I'd put the 5 cents in and I would do this like this. I would turn it, but I wouldn't go all the
Click it
way.
all the way.
I would click it like half a click, and then I would just hold it like this, and you just kind of shake it with it halfway open. You just go like that, and then it just a whole bunch came out. I mean, I would get a whole handful of this stuff, throw it in the pocket, and like, all right, for a nickel, and then I'd walk to school and I'd eat these things like, every morning. That was my thing. I think about it now. I'm like, was my mom not feeding me breakfast? Is that why I was so hungry?
Were we cheating the
Mother,
system?
were you?
Is that considered stealing and cheating the system?
Probably, but I was like a fifth grader and it was only a nickel. So, hey, whatever. Mom, were you not feeding me, Mom? What's going on? I can't remember, but if you weren't,
So back to the addiction thing, I do have a question.
let's go back.
But I do have a question. So, like how you're saying addictive personality or
Yeah.
like whatever have you, um, and how they say to get rid of one, you substitute it for another because if you already have this personality type, you can't just get rid of a or an
Mhm.
addiction.
Yeah.
But you've never had an addiction, you said.
Um, no, not that I can recall. I've never, no, I mean, like I said, I was very obsessive with bodybuilding. Even when I was using gear, honestly, I didn't even I didn't even look forward to using the gear. I did it as something that was necessary so I could compete at a higher level. But I wasn't excited about taking it. I didn't, I would miss my injections all the time and stuff because I was like, I got to do this again. Drinking, no. I would have my little spurts here and there sometimes, maybe I'd have a few weekends, I'd have a drink here and there for like a little while, and then I wouldn't for a while. I'd stop, like, oh, okay, whatever. Nothing where I felt like I needed it, and I had to have it to get through my day, or
Do
I
you think
never
there's
had
a
that.
difference between habit and addiction?
Well, yeah, because you can have a habit, right? Like making your bed every day. Is that considered a habit? It's a habit, right? If some people don't make their beds, and then some people do. Like, if I get up in the morning and I try to walk out the room without making my bed, it bothers me, right? Like, I can let it go. If somebody said, "Don't make your bed today," yeah, I'd be able to do it, but it would bother me. So I make it because it's a habit that I developed, right? I don't think addiction is that. I think addiction is whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it, you need to do it.
Because I don't think I had a addiction. Same, like
Hmm.
it was just habits. Did I get into all of the naughty stuff? I did. I sure did. Like, let's just use my adulthood years in the military. Before, smoke break is a thing, and it was if you got them, smoke them, right? And all of the smokers would go off and take a smoke break while I had to continue to work because I wasn't a smoker at the time. And I thought to myself, like, fuck, wait a minute. I'm doing work wrong here. If they're going out on a smoke break, I'm gonna pick up smoking so I can go on a break
So
too.
you can get the breaks.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, don't do
I
that
remember
now.
that.
But
Yeah.
like I had that attitude, like, fuck this. If I'm the only one that's not smoking and I'm left here working because I don't smoke.
Mhm.
So it kind of first started where I was just like, whatever's in front of the boss, I'm like holding a cigarette, whatever. And then eventually I picked up the habit
Mhm.
because when I was over it, I'm like, nah, I'm done. Just cold turkey and I quit.
Yeah. So were you addicted to it, or were you no, or was it more just you created a habit
Yeah,
because it benefited you? And
habit.
that is different, right? You weren't
I
addicted.
was not fiending
Right.
for it,
Right.
or I didn't need a fix
So
for,
that I
So,
would consider more of a habit, right?
mm-hmm.
It's like me when I would drink alcohol sometimes, like on the weekend, like, oh, it's Saturday, I'm having a drink. Every Saturday I start having a drink. Am I addicted to it? Can I stop? Yeah. Is it just because it's Saturday and I just developed the habit of, oh, this is what I do Saturday evening. I make my glass and I drink and, whatever. And so I think it's different, right? Because the addicts, right? I mean, they go overboard too, right? It's not like they can just have one, they're going to have
Where it
one,
becomes
two.
unhealthy.
Yeah. They keep going. They can't have alcohol around them, right? If it's around them, they're going to drink the whole thing. If you have 10 bottles, they're going to polish off 10 bottles. Maybe not in that one night, but they're going to finish it up in the one day or 2 days, whatever. That's a difference, right? I can have 10 bottles near me and it'll take me 5 years to finish that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't care if it's sitting right there. I can look at it every day and not even touch it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that's a big difference. The one thing that's interesting about most addicts is the mood swings, the moodiness, and the lying. I feel like a lot of addicts lie.
I'm sure you dealt with a lot of them as well in your lifetime since you've been on Earth a lot longer than I have. So, and then you see people come in and out of here every day.
Yeah.
You smell them smelling like whether it be weed or
Oh
alcohol
yeah.
or like it coming out of their pores the next day. So I'm sure you dealt with a lot of them.
Mhm.
And from
Yeah.
your experience, you said the lying is the worst.
That's a big part. Again, we're talking about now. There's people. I don't know. There's people that who smoke, right? They smoke weed or whatever, and maybe that's their thing. And I wouldn't say that they're lying. Some of them are good. That's what they like to smoke weed. They do it a few times a week, and that's part of. Again, isn't it? Is it an addiction? Maybe, but it could be maybe in a healthier way. But I know a lot of addicts that it's unhealthy, right? They do things that are unhealthy because they lie. They'll even tell you that they don't. No, no, I don't drink, or no, I haven't had a drink in 6 months, and they just had one that in earlier that in the morning. Um, so I think it's hard to trust somebody who has an addiction, whatever it may be.
Especially when they start stealing money and
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, then that's the next level, right? But not all addicts do that though. Not all addicts steal. Um, do they all lie? I don't know. Maybe here and there, but it's hard to say. But I don't classify every single person who's an addict as a person that steals. But definitely, I noticed the one thing though is depending on the time, the day of the month, whenever you get to them, sometimes you'll get a different person. Sometimes you get this really trustworthy, reliable, honest person, and then you could see them a month later and you're getting a whole different person. They're lying, they're doing weird stuff, and you're like, "Oh, what's this all about?" It just flips depending on where they're at with their habit or their addiction, right? You know.
I mean, I know functioning, I don't know if you want to call it addicts because maybe, I don't know, functioning people who use substance to just to feel normal.
Right, right. Because the word addict, right? That sounds like a derogatory word,
Hmm.
right? It doesn't sound good, right? And I think most people would think it sounds bad. I'm an addict, you know. Doesn't sound that good. So, but like I said, a habit. I have a bad habit, or I'm obsessive. I don't know. Maybe it sounds better. I don't know. Um,
Even with this bodybuilding thing, I don't think I've gone to that extreme where I'm like, oh, I'm addicted to the pump, or I'm addicted to
yeah,
the stage, I'm addicted to the. No,
right,
I
right.
never
You
took it
could
so far.
stop if you wanted to, if you needed to. You could just stop,
But
and you'd
could
be
you
fine.
imagine if I was addicted to it, how much more better I would probably be because I'm so addicted to it. I'd want to
No,
fucking thrive
probably,
and be
Yeah.
like, my diet will be like 100% on point. I wouldn't even be drinking this shit
probably,
right here.
Would there be other aspects of your life that would suffer from that?
Absolutely,
Yeah. See,
yes.
that's
hundred
There
percent.
would not
that's
be
the
a
balance you
balance.
gotta look at. Yeah.
100%. Because I mean, we'll talk about Dorian again, but I remember when Dorian, he said when he stopped bodybuilding, he was really depressed for many years. He went through a lot. Why is that?
Yeah. Nothing else.
Was right. Was Dorian addicted to bodybuilding and everything that comes with it and the high of winning and all those things? Was he addicted?
I don't
You
know.
know,
Or maybe because that was his daily regimen,
right.
that it was just
That
like,
was his
oh
habit.
shit, now
Yeah.
what? What do I do to reinvent myself? Or where do I go from here? Because all I knew was to contest prep train and do all
Right.
of that
It
other
could
stuff.
be it could be similar as a person who had a job and they got fired, right? They've been doing that job for 10 years and they get fired and they get super depressed
Yeah,
and they
that's
don't know
what
what
I'm
to
saying.
do
Or like not even just fired, or retired,
or
right?
whatever or retired.
Like they,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but because they're so old and they're out of their routine, they kind of just like
Hmm.
wither away and kind of like ride off into the sunset.
Right, because their entire life has changed, right?
Hmm.
But is that were they addicted
To work.
to the work? See, they you know what I mean? Maybe some people, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's see, that's such a fine line, right? Addiction, obsession,
Maybe they were
habit.
addicted to making the money because they were responsible for their family and their household.
Uh-huh.
Maybe they didn't really like their work or their job, but they were addicted to yeah, supporting their family. Therefore, it's become a thing, you know?
Well, we can go. I mean, there's other people who also have jobs who they have a status in that job. They're at a certain level, they have a title, and they're addicted to the power, right?
You're absolutely right.
That power of look, the rank or whatever it is, and people give them respect based off of that, right? And they live for that. So there is a high to it, right? There's some type of high I think that
Well,
people
thank
get from
God
it.
I'm a no-name nobody. I
Right?
can't get addicted to no power or authority
Yeah,
here.
addicted.
Nah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting. I mean, addiction is, yeah, it's kind of a trip because people in here, people in the gym, sometimes I look at some people and I'm like, oh, that is that person addicted to bodybuilding, you know? I would say for me to classify somebody like that, it wouldn't be somebody that's doing it because they're just trying to win a title, or it would be somebody that's obsessed with their appearance. I think that's more addiction.
You sure?
I think so. Like, meaning like they can't, it doesn't matter whether they're doing shows or not. They're so obsessed with how they look. And if they don't look a certain way, it affects them in a really bad way, in a negative way.
Like people are sometimes they say like, "Oh, I'm addicted to the pump."
Mhm.
Are you or are you addicted to the stimulants that give you the pump, right?
Right. Unless you're natty, right?
Like,
How many natties are there though, right? I mean, see, then is natty addict? I don't know. Is
If
natty?
someone's doing it to the point to where they're not doing well, competing or not looking good, but they
Mm,
keep doing the lifestyle and everything else is falling apart around them because
yeah.
they're then I would say, yeah, you're addicted to it.
You say there's an addiction there, right?
Because it's not doing them any good. And
There's no
they just
benefit.
there's no benefit. They're not getting better. They're not winning contests, and they keep following lifestyle. Meanwhile, their home life's falling apart.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, that's a problem.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
They get
indicator as well too.
divorced.
yeah.
They're just everything. They're spending all their money on steroids and everything, and they're still just not doing good. But they just keep going and
There's no
going.
return on it.
There's no return on
Yeah.
investment, right? There's actually loss on investment. You got to know when to just say stop.
Lose the family, lose the house, lose
Lose
everything
everything
because you just want to bodybuild.
just because you want to
It's
be
pretty
second
bad.
place Ikaika, I mean, not putting on Ikaika.
Whoa.
Not putting on Ikaika, just saying it could be second place anything. It could be second place Mr. Fifth Street, I'm just
We're
saying.
saying Akaika because we're advertising. That's the next show.
That's
coming
right,
up.
because next is coming up, Alan. Not,
Plug in.
no, Ikaika's a great show, of course. And it sounds cool, that's why. Yeah, so, you know, again, yeah, it's interesting. Just I think if it literally just destroys your life and you keep doing it, it's probably bad. And it's
It's
probably an
bad
addiction.
too. Like I had some instances where I met people where they're like I hate to say this, but they're adamant, but their body type, their habits are not gonna get them to that pinnacle, right? And they're all like, no, whatever it takes, pro, Olympia, or whatever it might be.
Okay.
But like I said, everything leading up, all of the things that they're doing don't get them, the results, but
Uh-huh.
they're still lifting the same gear use, same or even if not more, and just
Yeah.
yeah, if you're spinning your wheels and going nowhere, that's another telltale indicator, especially when your pinnacle's up there and you're still spinning your wheels in the same place.
That's true too. Yeah, that's sad. When I see that, that's sad. Did you see there was it a documentary, or I don't know, it could have just been a video on YouTube, but anyway, they were talking, maybe it was a documentary. Was it Bigger, Faster, Stronger or something like that? The one guy, he was in Venice and he was still, you probably
In the van.
living in the van.
Yeah, I remember. I seen
And he was still having what do you say? Like, I still have the dream, or of what was he trying to be? Was he trying to be a bodybuilder, or what was he trying to
No, he
be?
was just like, as long as I can outlift and outbench everybody in there, I'm still on top. And I was like, dude, you live in your van.
He living in a van. It was so weird. Like, that was his goal.
He was in Over the Top for like one scene or some shit.
Yeah, that's right. He did one scene over top and he held on to that
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I saw that.
It don't matter that
That
he
that's
lived in a
sad.
van, just as long as he was on
He
top.
was still at Venice. And I kind of was like, man, I was at Venice back in 96 training there. I was like, guaranteed he was there.
I
He
mean,
was there.
and then time passes by. Next thing you know, he's fighting against it with age and everything like that, still living in a van, looking back,
It was bad.
like hindsight, right? You're like, fuck, I wasted 20 years thinking I needed to stay on top by living in a van.
But the sad part is nobody cares how much
No,
you bench, dude. Nobody
no.
cares how much you deadlift. Nobody, I mean,
And as far as nobody caring, like people are so worried about what other people think. Just
yeah.
more people should take the initiative to do whatever the F you want to do Because at the end of the day, nobody cares.
Right.
Like you losing your job. Oh, what
Yeah.
will my family think of me? Go get another fucking job. I don't know, right?
Yeah. Nowadays, I think it's so different than before because I think everything is so quick now, right? Like
Yeah.
with the internet, we're so used to everything just coming and going. You see something, a post, boom, you're talking about it for a day, maybe 2 days, and then it's gone. You don't even talk about it anymore.
Or
You're
like how
moving on.
you're talking about people have this thing about you're in a prestigious position
Mhm.
and you lose that position or you
Right.
have to forfeit it because life happens and then you hold on for dear life to that position thinking, oh man, but I am CEO, boss, president, or what have you
Yeah.
of this thing that's killing you because you want to hold on to the name and title thinking like,
Yeah.
oh, but what would these people think of me? Uh, So what? Like, so what if you have to let that go because you have, I don't know, other pressing important matters at hand, like maybe taking care of your family members or I know something else more important.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I had to learn that a long time ago. It's interesting because what I found was, like something that happened to me or I did something and then people knew about it. Um, and then I was so worried, about what they were going to say. And then I talked to some of these people a year later, 2 years later, like they're not, I'm not around them anymore. I talk to them and I bring it up and they're like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, they don't even care about it. Like I'm bringing it up and they're just like, yeah, that was like a year ago, dude. Who cares? And in my mind, it was still fresh, right? It was still like, oh, all these people are still going to be thinking about it, you know? And it's like, no, they're not. Like
Thinking that you
they
got a
already moved on.
reputation to
That's the
protect.
thing. Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. No,
That's
just
like that's the like years down the road, most of them forgot about it.
They did. Yeah.
Like
And
you're the only one holding on to it and worried
yeah,
about what they think, and they don't even fucking remember it. Yeah,
yeah. They're just like, oh yeah, oh that, oh yeah, I remember, I heard about that. Yeah, oh okay, whatever. And I'm like, oh, so worried, right? I thought everybody was going, oh, I remember that. Nope, no, they don't. They don't care. So it's not a big
like,
deal.
even for myself too, right? Like I had a conversation with somebody after I got my pro card and the injuries are um after that and a colleague of mine, another pro, we're talking about it. It is kind of our duty to maintain some sort of image. But like I was telling this individual, fuck, I'm with the injuries I have, I'm just trying my best. This is all I got. And if I don't look up to par, like I could be a pro, then fuck, I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
I don't have an image to protect. Like I already acquired that goal of becoming one.
Right.
That was that point of time in my
Yeah.
life. I'm moved on. I've moved on to other things. I got bigger fish to fry and other shit to worry about rather than maintaining this image of looking like a pro. I mean, yeah, that'll be great and good because I'm vain, yes, but then as far as what my body is capable of doing, I'm giving it my best shot.
That's
This is
it.
this is it. And
Yeah.
then you can love me for it or not. And that's the part as well too. People are so afraid of what other people will think that they're not even themselves anymore and they lose a sense of identity. So like you attract this bunch of people because of this identity that you've created, which ain't even you. So does that make your group of friends authentic?
Mm.
Because they don't even know the real you. I don't know. It's another
Right. That's another one.
deep
Yeah.
thoughts, right?
That is
That's
a deep
crazy.
one. That is a deep one. Who do you even know who you are, right? Like, is that really you? Is this an image that you've created? Or no, it is really you because that's the person that you created and that's really you. And that's how you are.
Is it?
See, but there you go. That's what I'm
Is
trying to say.
it?
I'm putting it out there though,
Is it
right?
authentically you?
Yeah. Um
Where you're non-performative, where you can just let your hair down. I mean, you don't got much left, but
I think I think it's a part of you. I
and
would
let your
say it is a
people
part of
love
you.
you for
It
who
is a
you
part
are.
of you, right? I think it is a part of you though. Like when you see performers on stage, singers or whatever, and they're up there, and then backstage, or you see them on the interviews, right? And then they're a little different, they're like They could be super calm and quiet and very chill on the interview, and then on stage, crazy, right? Like, like Prince, Michael Jackson, those guys were infamous for that. On stage, so much energy, personality, and then on camera interviews, quiet, kind of soft spoken, and you're like, whoa, which guy is it? It's both the same people. That's one side of them. That's
But
the other
like how
side.
you're saying, and
Yeah.
I was saying, I mean, both are right, but um, Prince, the performer,
Right.
he had to perform. Like, do people really know you for you not being or having to perform is what I'm saying as well too.
Right.
I'm a different person on camera than I am at home that my family knows me for.
Oh, sure. I
So
mean,
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Right.
Does your tribe really know who you are? Like the person that we see on stage, the Mr. Prince person
Mhm.
versus who he is at home, like that's
Oh, I'm
completely
sure it's
different people
different.
as well
I'm sure it's
too.
different.
And
Right.
that's what you guys only know me through my social media or what you guys see on this. You guys
Right.
really don't know me. Is this my real tribe? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you're conveying part of your personality here. You know what I'm saying? You are.
Maybe.
It's part of you. It's part of you. I mean, unless you're just really acting and completely, which I don't think you are because I know you. So I know you enough to know that this is not as full, like full fake, right? Like, ooh, we're doing a show. There's going to be some, I don't want to say acting, but there's certain things you probably are not going to say or not going to do because, yeah, you want to convey a certain message and you want to be a certain way in front of the camera, right? Because if you're going to be yourself, like
I might
fully
scare some
yourself,
people away
maybe.
or attract the right ones as well too.
I think out of all of us, Jed's probably most of himself the most in camera. He'll just blurt out shit sometimes out of nowhere. I'm like, what the hell was that? Like he's like, "Arr." Like, but that is Jed. So me, I kind of keep it a certain way because don't get me wrong, like people that really know me, they're like, oh my God, Mark gets mad about all kinds of shit, or he gets irritated about all kinds of, and I do. But then I let stuff roll off, right? I get irritated and then I just let it go. And that's usually the way I am. But I definitely do get annoyed about stuff and I will say some stuff and I will be annoyed for a little bit. But on camera, you're not going to see that. I'm going to be, hey, let's talk about topics, right? So nobody wants to see me bitching about something. Yeah, but I think it's all of it. I think this pieces. All of this is pieces of it. Yeah. But you're gonna display what you want people to see, right? Okay, so
But at the same
but
time,
I think it's gotta be the core, right? The core. When you go down to the core, what kind of person are you in your core? Personality is gonna waver a little bit, but what kind of person are you? Are you a good person? Are you an honest person? Are you a person that has respect for other people, for things,
for
like
animals,
for animals, we're thinking about the animals, right? You know, those type of things, right? In your core, are you that type of person? What kind of person are you? Are you a serial killer, right? Are you a sociopath, right? I don't. That's the difference, I think. And so there's people that you and I probably know that are probably sociopaths, and they probably haven't killed anybody, or maybe they have, but we know them and they are that personality type. I'm
and
sure.
others that put on a good front, like they're good,
Yeah.
they're innocent, and
Hmm. Yep. And talking about addiction again, a lot of those people who have addictive personalities, to me personally, I think they do put on a front a lot. There's a lot of fake going on in front of everybody to hide that that addiction. They're hiding it, and so they're putting a front on, smiling. Everything's good. Oh, I'm good. I'm cool. I'm cool. They're not. So
I mean, you're in the gym all the time. I'm pretty sure you see it as well too, where they might have like a drinking problem and they overcompensate by coming to the gym religiously because of their bad habit. They're trying to
yeah,
offset it with something good.
yeah. And what's so interesting? I think I talked about it before. Anyway, people that have this addictive personality, I want to say, when they take that energy into something that's productive, they're pretty successful.
Yeah, they
Amazing. Because
thrive.
I know a couple people that used to do ice and used to do certain drugs or alcohol, and they stopped. and they went into business or whatever, and they're successful. Now, don't get me wrong, they're probably one little pipe away from going back to that, one little, puff of the pipe. But because it's always in them, right? They know that it's always there and it could happen, but they found success. They took that and they used it as a tool to become successful.
I believe that. You see that quite often where people take that energy and turn it into something positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing. So it's not all bad, right? It's
No,
not
not at all.
bad having addictive personality can be good, and you can be very successful if you do it in the right way. Yeah. So I think so. Yeah.
I'm glad none of us gone on that route of substance abuse, being in any type of addicted to anything.
You know which one is kind of, I think, sneaky, and I think people don't think about it a lot because it's just a normal day, everyday thing. People don't even, they wouldn't even say, "Oh, I'm addicted to it."
I know what you're gonna
Which one?
say.
What am I going to say?
I'm probably
Say it.
guilty of that
Say
to
it.
some degree.
Say it.
Addicted to social media,
Oh
scrolling,
no,
doom scrolling.
no,
No,
no. That's one, but I wouldn't. I'm not in. No.
because it's so convenient at people's hands right now to just.
Yeah, that could be one, but that's not what I'm talking about.
But I don't think I'm addicted to it. It's just that I'm bored.
See, that's what I mean. I think if somebody took your phone away and said, "Oh, you can't have your phone for like 2 days," I think you'd be fine.
Oh, I was out in the sticks. I,
Yeah,
I
that's what
was
I'm saying. So
fine.
you're not really
No,
addicted. There's a lot of people that are, but that's not what I'm talking
yeah,
about. This is
right.
one that
What
this is
is it?
one that even that you don't even see it. Sometimes you don't even think about it. It's just a normal. This is what I do when I get up in the morning. It's just a normal thing. I kind of need it.
Caffeine?
Yeah, caffeine. Caffeine. You didn't even think about it, and you had the cup right in your hand.
Well, because this is
Right.
easily
But
convenient
because
to more
that, yeah,
people.
because that's right there, right? But I think caffeine's a big one. People don't even think about it. People don't even put it label. They won't ever label it as that. They're just like, no, this is my normal. This is my routine. This is my habit.
Need to get my Starbies? No, I
This is
only
my
need
habit. Yeah. I'm not saying you are.
I
I'm
need
just
to
saying,
just do one thing of caffeine
yeah.
and I'm good.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying, well, because now pre-workout and energy drinks have become the other thing that people, I think, feel like they need to have. Like, oh, I got to do that pre-work before I work out. We talked about this
Yeah.
before. Dudes they be losing it. They'll come in here. You guys have pre-workout? Oh man, I don't have pre-workout. I didn't take it today. Oh, and they're freaking out. Oh man, my workout's gonna suck today. I've heard that. Like, what? What are you talking about? Oh, I don't have any pre-workout. It's gonna suck. I'm like, wow, that's great. That's a great way to think, dude. One day without pre-workout, now your workout sucks. It's pretty sad that you can't even just push through one workout. Like, that's pretty pathetic.
Like for me, coffee, I love the smell of it,
Yeah.
the taste of it. Yeah, but I'm not like addicted to it. Like I wake up fiending for it. If I go a day without it, like oh darn, I miss my coffee. Oh, it's already late in the day. I'm not gonna drink one now. I'll just wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, you're what they call a casual coffee
Hmm.
drinker. Just like, what alcohol, right? When you're doing those little surveys at the doctor office and they go, how many times do you drink? 1 to 2 times,
Yeah.
3 to 5
And that's
every
what I was
day.
saying earlier too, right? As far as addicted to bodybuilding or addicted to the pump, are you addicted to the pump or the substance that gets you that pump,
It could be both.
Or
You
both?
get addicted to the hormonal rush, right? All the endorphins and the rush, just like the runner's high, right? The runner's high. People get
Yeah,
addicted to
you're running.
running. I know we have nothing to say about it because we're not
Nothing to
runners.
say.
But from what I heard, and I've experienced the runner's high because I had to, I've run here and there, especially when I was in the military and, we were running a bunch. And I have experienced that runner's high. I think the most funny thing is I experienced it the most when I was a kid because sometimes I have to run, go home, like, do like a 3 mile, 4 miles to get home. And I'd run at nighttime, not in like running clothes, like pants and, running home just so I could get home. And I remember experiencing that runner's high, like, whoa, like kind of felt good, after a while.
No, I get it. I mean, there's like now, I'm not gonna lie, I can't run because of my back and stuff, my knee,
Yeah.
and everything else I got going on. I'm not gonna lie, I miss it.
You do? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I
I
wish
was,
I could still like freaking get down like a gazelle. You know?
yeah, I was just telling Jed today, I was like, oh man, I started just doing these little like 5 minute run up, like warm up runs. Just go on one of those treadmills and just run for 5 minutes, a nice pace. And I was like, wow. I told him, I said, man, 5 minutes of running, it's kind of tiring. I can do all kinds of stuff, but I don't run that much. So just the carrying my body weight for 5 minutes and running like that, I was like, oh, that could be kind of tiring because I don't run ever. So, but
Interesting.
yeah, short. I think it's good though. Just short. Everything. Keep everything short. Just tap into it a little bit. Move on to the next thing. Minimize the wear and tear on that one thing, right? So I'm a huge believer in that. Doing the same thing over and over, and eventually, like you can kind of some depending on how many times you do it, but you can start to
Create wear
create
and tear.
issues and wear and tear in that one area, right? Because you're doing that same thing over and over again. It's so you have to. It's good, You can do certain things, but you have to kind of know and limit. Not be like every day I'm going to do this. Yeah. Um,
But then you create that addiction. Like, oh, I need to go run.
It's a habit. That would be a habit.
Okay,
That would be
okay.
a habit, right?
See, there you go.
See, fine line, habit, addiction. But to me, in the end, my summary of addiction is it's overall, I don't think it's good. I think it can be good if you can manage it, and it's something that depending on what it is, right? But overall, I think being addicted to something is definitely not good because there's a lack of control, lack of self control there. If you're addicted, right?
A lack of self-control if there's an addiction.
Yes, if there's an
Oh, that's
addiction,
very
right?
good.
I think so. Lack of self control if there's an addiction. Yes.
That's a good way to like
Yeah.
define it. I don't know about define it, but
Yeah.
summarize it, I should
Right.
say, because I know people who are addicted to making money.
Oh,
Are they addicted or, you know,
I think yeah. I mean, probably. I could see it being a high, right? Every time you get that money coming in, especially some of these people that are making a lot of money. You know, I think there's a high to it. I always wondered why you see these drug dealers and you'd be like, man, why didn't that guy just stop? The dude made like $50 million. He should have stopped. And they just kept going and they got busted or they got killed. You're like, why didn't you just stop? Because it's not easy, right? There's a power factor, there's addiction to power and drugs and money. All of it, right? Maybe they're not doing the drugs. Maybe they're not even a drug addict, but they're addicted to the power, the status, and then the money. And then maybe some of them can't quit because if they quit, somebody will kill them. So I don't know. Depends. But
oh, that went way
yeah.
left. Drug
Oh, it
addict.
did. It did. It did. But that's another one. That is definitely another one for sure. The addiction to power and status and then money. Yeah. That's a whole separate thing, right? So, well, Jed, you got anything else to add to this topic?
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you good
Yeah,
now?
like Easy said, don't get high off your own supply, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was on Scarface, right?
No, that was NWA. Don't get high off your own supply. He's a
No, but
dope man.
yeah, no, that's the dope man. But you know who said it first?
A Scarface.
Scarface. Because Scarface came out in 85, 84, 85. And I remember when Tony Montana went up to his first guy, what's his name? The first drug dealer. He was dating Michelle Pfeiffer. Anyway, he went up to him and the guy goes, I'll tell you the rules. And he goes, don't get high on your own supply.
Let me tell you something,
And
man.
then Michelle Pfeiffer goes, no, we don't get high on your own supply. Like she was saying, telling, Tony. And okay, but Tony didn't listen. Tony didn't listen. And we know what happened to Tony.
Yeah.
Tony
You're
Montana.
like a historian with music, bodybuilding, movies. You're pretty good up here.
Yeah. And I don't
So
even
smart.
realize I know all of it until I start talking about it. And then it's like the accessing floppy drive. Now, I got the floppy in there. I got that 3.5 inch floppy. I'm older. But yeah, it just starts coming out. So Tony Montana. So that's where. So NWA took it from Scarface.
Tony
Yeah.
Montana.
Tony Montana. All right. Anyway, thanks guys. And we'll see you next time on Paradise Pump.